How to create stencils from patterns to create designs such as this in Affinity Photo. I'm going to start with a very basic shape, a star. So I'm just going to create a shape, star tool, and apply. Once I've done that, I can turn that design into a pattern, but I need to rasterize it. Can't use this as a pattern. So layer and down to rasterize. Now you can use it as a pattern. So go to layer and down to new pattern layer from selection. That will turn that design into seamless tile pattern. Now I'm just going to delete the background. Now you can resize it, move it around. And I'm going to go with that pattern design. But I'm now going to rasterize it. So I'm just going to go to a layer and down to rasterize. So it's no longer a pattern after this, but it's got pattern design. So rasterize. And now I can turn that into a selection by going to select and down here to selection from layer and delete. And you can now see your selection. Next thing to do, invert it. So go to select and down to invert pixel selection. Now select a brush. So I'm just going to apply a brush stroke. It could be anything. Sprays in, splatters. Let's just apply it. And I'm applying it in black. And you can see as I apply it, a lovely stencil effect there straight away. You can of course change the color. A good way of doing that, window and swatches. So bring up swatches. So maybe decide to go for blue. And you can apply the stencil here just very, very loosely like that. But what you can also do is you can move this design, this selection. So you can go to select and edit selection as a layer. And you'll get this. Then you go to the move tool. So just go to the move tool and you can resize this. So you can move it around, reposition it. So I'm just going to rotate it as well. You can do a whole load of different transforms. Once you're happy with it, go to select and edit selection as a layer. So you're back again now to that selection. And then you can apply the brush again. So I'm just going to go again, paintbrush tool, apply exactly the same one, but this time I'm going to go with red. So let's just go over and change the color here. You get that stencil effect there again. And you can do again and again, just move it around, but you can also apply effects to it. So you've got this design, so go to filter and you can go to distort and deform, or any of the others of course, and add some pins. You can see the pins there, there's a couple of pins added, and once you've done that, you can then drag them. And as you do that, you can see what happens, they distort. So not only you've got the stencil effect, you can add another pin there and distort it that way, and drag that across, click apply. Now also what you can do, of course, you can go select and deselect, and of course you could continue to do that. But you can also apply it on a layer, makes it even more useful. So you've got this design, but let's just bring this back now, select and reselect, so it comes back. Now you can go to layer, and you can go to new layer. So you can create a new layer. You can see you've got a new layer there. Again, it will use the selection. And this time I'm going to go with green so you can see a difference. So you can apply the green, but this time, this is just applied to that layer. And of course I can move it, can still do exactly the same as before, edit selection, reposition it using the move tool, put it somewhere else on the layer, maybe resize it, make it very small. So you just move it around. Again, select and edit selection as layer. You're back again. And then apply it maybe with this time a different color. Select and deselect. Now it's a layer, and of course as a layer you can just move that layer around so you can reposition it. You can also go to it, you can duplicate it. You can hold down the Alt or Option key, so just drag and just duplicate that design and resize it. So you can add that selection there. And again you've got the stencil effect there and so on. And of course you can apply filters to that. So repeat, deform, just to distort it. And you can apply it multiple times if you want to really create all kinds of weird and wonderful distortions with that stencil design. And once you're happy with the whole thing, you can always go to layer and you can merge visible or merge down. So I'm just going to go merge visible. So it becomes all one side layer, and now I can delete the other ones. So let's just delete the other ones and you've got your end result there. Very rapidly done using the approach with stencils and brush strokes. Hope you found this tutorial of interest. Any questions about the tools, also about the stencil effect, selections, brush strokes, anything about that in Affinity Photo, please let me know in the comments below. Also, please subscribe to the channel. Always adding new tutorials all the time about Affinity Photo, Photoshop, etc. A like or dislike, always appreciated. Thank you much.